Hey, the lone top tens here. Every generation has a song or two that caused a bit of ripple upon its release. Way back, when in the 1950s, many felt that Elvis Presley and his swinging hips was a work of the devil. By the time the 1980s was upon us, many genuinely believed the devil really was coming out of the speakers of the young through their heavy metal music. Oh yeah! Like Metallica or Warrant or something like that. Some songs leave such an imprint at the time. They're forever associated with that controversy and are ingrained not just in their music history, but into pop culture as a whole. So, alright, I do want to say I'm a little bit tired here. Anyway, so we are going to take a look at the top 10 controversial songs that left a mark on pop culture. So, anyway, this contains some very scientific evidence with lots of research. So, make sure you actually listen to this. Number 10, Get Back, from the Beatles. Alright, although the lyrics of the Beatles' hit Get Back were said by some to be about getting back to your inner child and inner peace, others believe that the tune is a covert attack on immigration in the United Kingdom. Now, while there is little, if any, foundation for the claims, particularly as the Beatles embraced many different cultures and overall diversity, it still pops up every now and then in conspiracy decisions, occasionally right alongside the real, or the one where the real Paul McCartney died in 1966, but the band covered it up. There are alternate versions of the song recorded, which did indeed offer more direct references to immigration in the United Kingdom. However, these satirical lyrics are written very much as a condemnation of racist and xenophobic attitudes. Number 9. Better by You, Better Than Me, by Judas Priest. Alright. Now, when two young men, whose name is James Vance and Ray Belknap, attempted suicide back in 1985, one of them succeeded. The parents of their surviving boy Vance claimed the song Better by You, Better Than Me was to blame, and the band had internationally placed subliminal messages within the song to encourage such action. The trial lasted several days before being dismissed from the court. Judas Priest frontman Rob Halford stated to the press following the case being thrown out that the band had placed any messages in their songs. It would have to be by more of their records as opposed to suicide. Eventually, Vance did succeed and committed suicide in 1988 when he intentionally overdosed on painkillers. Not fun. Not fun to think about. Number 8, Rape Me, by Nirvana. This is what I agree to be one of the most controversial songs of all time. Alright. Now, songwriter Kurt Cobain, who is eventually dead, claimed the song Rape Me by Nirvana from their final studio album in Utero was an anti-rape song. Many women's groups and rape survivor groups descended upon the band, arguing to the contrary. Now, given that Cobain often wrote words that had very little meaning, the song was likely exactly that, just a song. If you're looking for any meaning at all, it could be argued, when read alongside other words from the In Utero album, that the lyrics most referred to the music industry and Cobain's increasing disdain for it. Whether instantly or because of the attention the song brought, the band did play numerous charity shows for victims of rape, both in the United States of America and in war-torn Bosnia. Alright. Number 7. Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter, by Iron Maiden. Well, as unlikely a Christmas number 1 as it was, the veteran rockers stormed the UK charts with the tentatively titled Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter in late December 1990, entering at the top spot for Christmas weekend and staying to see in the new year. Written as part of the soundtrack for the latest Nightmare on Elm Street film, the song drew the attention of groups who claimed it glorified violence toward women. the band completely denied this, stating the song was simply something off the cuff to fit in with the movie theme. Although it wasn't banned, the original video of the song was scrapped after concerns it was too graphic given the complaints. A collection of live shots has hastily thrown together instead. Number 6. Suicide Solution by Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy Osbourne is no stranger to controversy at the best of times, but when he found himself in a U.S. court charged with encouraging the suicide of his fans through the use of backward messages in his songs, even the most conspiracy-minded of people had to shake their heads a little. The song in question, Suicide Solution, is about the dangers of alcohol and the slow way it will kill you if you allow yourself to be used by it. However, according to the parents of John McCollum, Ozzy had inserted instructions in his music for his fans to commit suicide. Their son had shot himself after after backward satanic messages he had heard in the song told him to get the gun, shoot, That's what it's literally meaning. So, I wanted to tell you, the case was eventually thrown out of the courts due to a complete lack of evidence. However, Osbourne faced increased picketing from religious groups across America at his shows for years after. So if I was you, I wouldn't listen to that song at all. It just encourages you. Please do not listen to these songs. I should have reminded you guys that if you are under, viewer discretion is advised because some of this may be a little bit inappropriate for you guys. So, just want to say that out loud. Viewer discretion is advised. Number 5. God Save the Queen by the Sex Pistols. Everybody knows that band, right? Now, I should actually say, the only time in UK history where there was officially no song at the number 1 position was the punk band, the Sex Pistols. Everybody knows that, right? Pretty much. So, they had their song, God Save the Queen, reach the top spot. Such was the disgust of the majority of decent people in British society. The BBC refused to play or even acknowledge the song. As you might imagine, going by the logic that if someone says, you can't have it, you only want more, many young punk fans rushed out to buy copies, as well as packing out their shows up and down the country. The song itself is an attack on the monarchy, which the writer of the lyrics, John Lydon, refers it to as a fascist regime, who have made you a moron. So, I should say, if you don't know, God Save the Queen is actually the British national anthem. I guess they're remaking it or something. I don't know. Number 4. 1 in a Million by Guns N' Roses. Now, Guns N' Roses is famous for lots of songs, including Paradise City. Now, alright. Let's actually get this thing up. So, in the space of just over 4 minutes using very bad profanity I do not want to say out loud. So, Axl Rose, vocalist and writer for 1 in a Million, managed to offend the gay community, immigrants, the police, and the black community, not to mention any anti-racist and anti-discrimination groups. The overall feeling of the otherwise largely forgotten song was one of suspicion, derogatory tones, and aggression to those different to him. Now, excuse me guys, my eyes is just a little bit watery, sorry. But, in his defense, Rose stated it was simply for his personal observations and reflections on his experiences when he first moved to Los Angeles, while also offering that his guitarist from Slash, whose name is Saul Hudson, was a mixed race. His mother was actually black, so he couldn't be and indeed was a racist. Slash, although he was rarely been critical of Rose personally over the lyrics, he consistently stated he doesn't care for the song. While Rose is, to the best of the known world's knowledge, currently not racist, or certainly not racist, it was not his most well thought out moment, something he himself has admitted since. Number 3. Everybody knows the song. It is by the NWA. I do not want to say the song because obviously it contains profanity. And I do want to tell to the fans, I will not use any profanity in any of... I should have actually said this. if I did not, but I will not use any profanity in my channel, so that is why I'm just going to say it's a song by NWA. Alright? Just from the title of this song, from 1989, you might guess there will be some resistance to the song. That resistance went beyond what the group felt like was responsible for in Detroit, when they were told under no circumstances were they to play the song in their upcoming live performance. If they did, they will be arrested. They did, and they were. Although in reality, it appears the group got a strong talking as to opposed to being charged. Is as usually the case when authorities got involved in popular culture, interest in the group skyrocketed. They quickly become one of the most talked about acts in the United States, and by the mid-1990s had spawned the even more successful solo members of founding members Ice Cube and Dr. Dre. And if you don't know who NWA is, you should probably watch Straight Outta Compton, which is not for kids. So, don't take your kids to see that movie. Alright, or just buy it on DVD. Just meant for adults. 17 and up, in fact. Number 2, Cop Killer by Ice-T. Now, when Ice-T reflected on the song Cop Killer and the controversy it caused, he stated in the documentary The Hip Hop Years that one minute he was playing Nintendo, the next he was looking at the vice president, quoting his words on live television. The moment was surreal. There was particular focus on the line, "Die pig, die pig, die," with the audience being asked to consider what the line would sound like if it were about Jews or homosexuals. So, the song itself was a response, a harsh one, to the recent beating of Rodney King. Well, unfortunately, he's dead. He didn't die in 1991, but he died a little bit after, right? And the subsequent acquittal of the 4 police officers accused of the crime. Those who sought to ban it argued it was promoting and condemning violence against police officers. Same thing as the NWA thingy. I guess that was what it was. I guess. Number 1, Me So Horny by 2 Live Crew. This is not a song for kids. Please. Do not listen to this on the radio if your kid's in there, alright? Now, this is partially because it was highlighting an open secret of prejudice still seemingly present at the time in the United States. Me So Horny by Florida hip-hop band 2 Live Crew is arguably one of the most controversial songs of recent times. While it is very offensive when young black males were stating just how horny they were, when huge portions of young white Americans took an interest, particularly white females, the anger over the song was taken up a notch or two. At least that was the defense of many who fought against its censorship. Now, for their part, the group have repeatedly stated that the controversy over the song, including them being arrested for performing it live, led to a huge increase in album sales and attendance at their shows. In short, it did them a huge favor, which some might argue is a kind of poetic justice. But seriously, alright? For those parents out there, do not listen to any of these songs with your kids in the car, alright? Because these are highly inappropriate songs that, well, obviously except for Get Back. It's probably the only one that is actually suitable for kids. But some of these, if you tell them the controversy, it's not fun. Not fun consequences, I guess, well, for that pretty much so. Anyway, guys, that, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty much it. If you have any other controversial songs you know of, just let me know in the comments down below, okay? Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for incredibly awesome videos every single day. Don't forget to ring that notification bell, ding ding ding. Give this video, give this video a thumbs up, and support me on Patreon, okay? Thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.